Long ago, in the land of Israel, there lived a young shepherd named David. He was a simple boy, spending his days in the fields tending to his flock of sheep. The rolling hills and lush pastures were his home, and he knew every inch of the land. David was not just any shepherd, he was known for his kindness and bravery. He cared deeply for his sheep, ensuring they were safe and well fed. David was a good shepherd, kind and brave. He would often risk his own life to protect his flock from wild animals. With his trusty staff in hand, he would fend off lions and bears, never letting any harm come to his sheep. Despite the dangers, David always had a smile on his face. He found joy in the simple things, like the sound of the wind rustling through the trees and the sight of his sheep grazing peacefully. He protected his sheep from danger. His bravery was well known, and many admired him for his courage and dedication. But David had another talent that set him apart. He played beautiful music on his harp. The melodies he created were enchanting, and they brought peace to all who heard them. His music was a reflection of his soul, pure and full of love. One day, a prophet came to David's father. This visit was no ordinary one. It was filled with a sense of destiny and purpose. The prophet, a wise and revered man, had traveled far to deliver an important message. The prophet had a message from God. He spoke with authority and conviction, his words carrying the weight of divine will. He revealed that God had chosen David for a special purpose. God had chosen David to be the next king of Israel. This news was both shocking and exhilarating. David, the humble shepherd, was destined for greatness. He would rise from the fields to the throne, guided by his faith and courage. At this time, Saul was the king. Saul was a formidable leader, known for his strength and prowess in battle. However, his reign was marred by his inability to fully obey God's commands. Saul was a strong warrior, but he did not always obey God. His disobedience led to turmoil and unrest in the kingdom. The people of Israel longed for a leader who would guide them with wisdom and integrity. And so, the stage was set for David's rise to kingship, a journey that would be filled with trials, triumphs, and the unwavering belief in his divine calling. Saul first met David, a young shepherd boy, when he was still in his youth. David was brought to Saul's attention because of his remarkable bravery and skill. When David was just a young man, he had already made a name for himself. His reputation as a courageous and talented individual spread far and wide. David was known for his skill with a sling. He could hit targets with incredible accuracy, a talent that was both admired and respected by those who knew him. He used his sling to protect his sheep from lions and bears. This bravery impressed Saul, who saw in David a potential warrior and protector. David also had a softer side. He played beautiful music on his harp, a talent that brought joy and tranquility to those who heard it. Saul enjoyed listening to David's music. The melodies had a soothing effect on him, easing his troubled mind and bringing him a sense of peace. It brought him peace and comfort, something he desperately needed in his tumultuous life as a king. Saul liked David very much. He saw in him not just a talented musician and a brave warrior, but also a loyal and trustworthy friend. He asked David to stay with him in the palace, offering him a place of honor and a chance to be close to the royal family. David became Saul's armor-bearer, a position of trust and honor. This role not only brought David closer to Saul, but also marked the beginning of a deep and enduring friendship. David grew braver and stronger. He became a great warrior. He led the Israelite army to many victories. The people loved David. They sang songs about his bravery. Saul saw David's popularity growing. He began to feel jealous. Jealousy is like a monster. It can make good people do bad things. Saul's jealousy grew stronger. He became afraid of David. He thought David wanted to take his throne. He tried to hurt David many times. Section 4. God's unfolding plan. Even though Saul was trying to hurt him, David remained respectful. He knew God had chosen him to be king. He trusted in God's plan. David had many chances to harm Saul, but David knew it was wrong to hurt God's chosen king. He showed courage and mercy. God protected David from Saul's anger. God's plan for David was unfolding, even in the midst of trouble. Section 5. A lesson for all time. The story of David and Saul teaches us about God's power and faithfulness. It is a timeless tale that resonates with people of all ages and backgrounds. This story is not just about two men, but about the profound lessons we can learn from their lives and choices. God had a plan for David, and nothing could stop it. From the moment he was anointed by Samuel, David's destiny was set in motion. Despite the many challenges he faced, David remained steadfast in his faith and trust in God, not even a jealous king. Saul's jealousy and insecurity led him down a dark path. He saw David as a threat to his throne and his legacy, and this fear consumed him. Jealousy can lead to bad choices. It clouds our judgment and makes us act irrationally. Saul's jealousy drove him to make decisions that were not only harmful to David, but also to himself and his kingdom. Saul let jealousy control him. Instead of seeking God's guidance, he allowed his emotions to dictate his actions. This led to a series of events that ultimately resulted in his downfall. It led him to do wrong. Saul's violent outbursts and attempts to harm David were a direct result of his unchecked jealousy. In moments of regret, he realized the gravity of his actions, but by then, it was often too late. David's story teaches us about courage, patience, and trust in God. He faced numerous challenges, from battling giants to comforting those in distress. Through it all, he remained a beacon of hope and faith. He faced danger with faith. Whether he was hiding in caves or fighting bravely on the battlefield, David's trust in God never wavered. His faith gave him the strength to overcome any obstacle. He waited for God's timing. David understood the importance of patience. He knew that God's plan would unfold in its own time, and he was willing to wait no matter how long it took. He teaches us to do the same. David's life is a testament to the power of faith and trust in God. He led with wisdom and compassion, always putting God's will above his own desires. God has a plan for each of us. Just as he had a plan for David, he has a plan for you and me. Our journeys may be different, but the underlying message is the same. Trust in God's plan and have faith in his timing. Let us trust in him, even when things are difficult. Life is full of challenges and uncertainties, but with faith and trust in God, we can overcome any obstacle. Let David's story inspire us to remain steadfast in our faith, no matter what comes our way.